Hi, boys and girls. I am back with one last story for you here. So as we talked about in the previous videos, we have been kind of studying nonfiction stories and finding out what makes a nonfiction story. So just want to do a quick review here. What kind of things do nonfiction stories tell about with the words? Go ahead and raise your hand and the teacher will call on someone. What do nonfiction stories tell about with the words? I hope you said that a nonfiction story tells us facts or information. Okay? That would be the correct answer. A nonfiction story gives us facts or information. My next question. You are going to give me a thumbs up if you think the answer is yes, or a thumbs down if the answer is no. Okay, so listen carefully. Do nonfiction stories have characters? No, nonfiction stories do not have a character. Okay? We might be reading about a real-life person or a real-life animal, but it is not a character in a story. Okay? Not like in, Lily's Big Day or maybe King of the Playground. We didn't have characters that, we followed throughout the whole story. Okay? In those stories, we did. They had a problem and a solution. So that goes to my next question. Do nonfiction stories have a problem and a solution? No, not usually. We might be reading about a real-life problem, but they are telling us facts and information about that problem. Okay? It's not like in Lily's Big Day where she thought she was going to be the flower girl, but really she was not. Okay, we didn't learn any information or facts in that story. It was just a fun and cute little problem to entertain us. Nonfiction stories are more so here to inform us and teach us things. We might find them entertaining, and that's great, but their primary reason, or the most important reason, is that they want to teach us and inform us. Okay? And my last question is, can a nonfiction story have drawings and illustrations for the pictures? You should have said, yes, thumbs up. Nonfiction stories can have illustrations and pictures. They do not have to be photographs. Just like we read in our last story, what do you do when something wants to eat you? We were learning real information about how real animals defend themselves, but the author drew those pictures. He didn't go out in the wild and find a picture of a real lizard running across the water. He just drew a picture of it, and we still know that the information is still true and correct. It was still a fact. Okay? So I want you to keep all of those things in mind for our last nonfiction story of this week. It is called, What Do You Do with a Tale Like This? Okay? So I'll go ahead and put the cover up, and I hope you enjoy our story. Another one by Steve Jenkins. All right, we are reading What Do You Do with a Tale Like This? Animals use their noses, ears, tails, eyes, mouths, and feet in very different ways. See if you can guess which animal each part belongs to and how it is used. At the back of the book, you can find out more about these animals. So they're going to show us a part. you are going to guess what animal it belongs to, kind of like in our previous book, okay? And this actually is by the same author as our last book we read, What Do You Do When Something Wants to Eat You? So see if you can guess what animals the part they're showing belongs to. What do you do with a nose like this? Okay, you see all these different noses here. Some of these we might recognize, but what do you think this nose is here? What do you think that nose is right there? Because I have never seen anything like that. Go ahead and take a guess. Let's find out. Up here. If you're a platypus, you use your nose to dig in the mud. If you're a hyena, you find your next meal with your nose. If you're an elephant, you use your nose to give yourself a bath. And here's the one we were looking at. If you're a mole, you use your nose to find your way underground. And if you're an alligator, you breathe through your nose while hiding in the water. What do you do with ears like these? Let's go ahead and take a look. And, we're not going to stop and hear everyone's guesses for every animal. But go ahead and think there. What do you think some of those might be from? These are all ears, okay? If you're a jackrabbit, you use your ears to keep cool. If you're a bat, you see with your ears. If you're a cricket, you hear with ears that are on your knees. If you're a hippopotamus, you close your ears when you're under the water. And if you're a humpback whale, you can hear sounds hundreds of miles away. What would you do with a tail like this? Go ahead and take a look there and get some guesses in your brain. If you're a giraffe, you brush off pesky flies with your tail. If you're a skunk, you lift your tail to warn that a stinky spray is on its way. If you're a lizard, you break off your tail to get away. If you're a scorpion, your tail can give a nasty sting. And if you're a monkey, you hang from a tree by your tail. What do you do with eyes like these? Maybe you recognize some of those, maybe not. If you're an eagle, you spot tiny animals from high in the air. If you're a chameleon, you can look two ways at once. If you're a four-eyed fish, you look above and below the water at the same time. If you're a horned lizard, you can squirt blood out of your eyes. And if you're a bush baby, you use your large eyes to see clearly at night. So we're learning a lot of cool information in this story. A lot of really cool facts about these animals that I didn't know. What might you do with feet like these? If you're a chimp, you feed yourself with your feet. If you're a blue-footed booby, you do a dance. If you're a water strider, you walk on water. If you're a gecko, you use your sticky feet to walk on the ceiling. And if you're a mountain goat, you leap from ledge to ledge. And what do you do with a mouth like this? Maybe some you recognize, maybe some you don't. If you're a pelican, you use your mouth as a net to scoop up fish. If you're an egg-eating snake, you use your mouth to swallow eggs larger than your head. If you're a mosquito, you use your mouth to suck blood. If you're an anteater, you capture termites with your long tongue. And if you're an archer fish, you catch insects by shooting them down with a stream of water. Pretty cool. And in the back here, so if you were to get this book, here's extra information that you can learn about each of the animals if you would like to learn more. They tell about all the different parts of the animals that they talked about in the story and give you some extra information. Okay? So I hope you liked that. And just like we did a review of our nonfiction parts of a story, I would say that that story had all of those things. They gave us a lot of really interesting facts and information. They had illustrations for the pictures in the story. They did not have to be photographs. And there wasn't really any main characters or a big problem or solution in that story. So that kind of hit all of the parts of our nonfiction sort of checklist there that we had. So next time, you will look at a fiction story and take a deeper look at what exactly makes a fiction story, okay? So I hope you enjoyed looking at some cool nonfiction stories, and next time you can pick up a book, maybe now you would want to pick up a nonfiction story and learn some interesting information about something that you enjoy. All right? Bye-bye.